Kamala Harris must answer for this. She absolutely must answer this. You cannot be posting up pictures of you with a black woman saying that it's your grandma, okay? You cannot do that. And then come to find out there was another woman who you look much more like, and we have all of the evidence in the world that she is your true grandmother. That is just, it is too wild. It is just too out of pocket. We are going to need answers to that.
Uh-oh.
In general, the child will be able to recall and recollect with some detail the incident, and that is persuasive to a jury, even if it is the only testimony that is available.
Ooh.
He just loved children. He was not a child molester.
On the hood going forward, I just wanna go forward. Got my head on my shoulders, got my 10 toes on the floor. The distractions I ignore, on them demons I ignore. If you good, welcome aboard. If you bad, you I ignore. Candace is back with another video, so we gotta check it out, man. If you're new here, make sure to put what Heavenly Father first. Make sure to get yourself these scriptures or the cipher and read it, okay? Make sure to put what Heavenly Father first. If you want to watch this video, make sure to go to Candace. You can pause here, go to Candace and watch it. The link is at the top of the description. You get what I'm saying? I'm ready, man. Let's check this out.
Old clips that are now surfacing, and it's essentially depicting the Kamala versus Donald Trump discussion pertaining to the Michael Jackson case. Now, I know a lot of you guys are new listeners to the show. We've gained a lot of new listeners over the last week. So in case you are like me and did not remember any details about the Michael Jackson case, all you remembered was the media telling you incessantly that he was a pedophile, I highly recommend that you go back and revisit our episode 55, which we did looking into the Michael Jackson case. It is stunning. Michael Jackson was without question being set up by some very powerful executives.
Bro, this is crazy. Yesterday, somebody showed me a video from TikTok. It was Michael Jackson talking on the phone. I could barely hear what he was saying. And I was telling the homie like, yo, what's this saying? He said that he's on the phone saying people trying to set him up, that it is bigger than the government. It is bigger. Dude, I'm going to find that clip. I told him to send it to me. He did. I'm going to play it.
What's wrong, Michael? I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people that want to get rid of me. They don't want me here anymore. I don't understand. What do you mean?
I don't know. It's like a coincidence. I mean, I do not believe in coincidence. I believe that things happen. You get what I'm saying?
Because he was fighting for control over Sony. It is completely crazy about how the cases even came about. Literally, the first person who ever made an allegation against Donald Trump was drugged into the allegation by his own father. I'm talking about that crazy, and that his father eventually killed himself. It's nuts. It's nuts. Anyways, at the time that all these accusations were coming up, it was very much the media versus Michael Jackson, because obviously the record execs had a lot of power over the media. They controlled the media at times.
Not just at that time. Even now. Now it's even worse. Okay? Now it's even worse compared to before the Michael Jackson's time. Because the media, they only give you what they've been given. They only tell you what they've been told. The news, same, I mean, it's the same people. It doesn't really matter. Like I said before, these news stations, these news companies, they are owned by 5 companies. And that's it. That's about it. So the narrative has to be controlled. Whatever comes out, they have to control it to let you know only, for you to know only what they want you to know. Not know what you need to know. You get what I'm saying? So pretty much they are controlling. I mean, it's a way of keeping people in the matrix.
Same story it is today, and why there are certain people who are protected. And so at that time, they were going around asking a lot of powerful people what their opinions were on the Michael Jackson case. And one of those people who was asked was Kamala Harris, then the deputy city attorney in San Francisco. And here's what she had to say.
That could mean life in prison, and cases like this can depend on the testimony of the child accuser.
In general, the child will be able to recall and recollect with some detail the incident, and that is persuasive to a jury, even if it is the only testimony that is available.
Ooh, betting against Michael Jackson, who was eventually acquitted of all charges. But what's really stunning is when you juxtapose this to what Donald Trump said at the time, then just a real estate magnate. Take a listen.
Michael's been a long-time resident of Trump Tower, and last night the Donald strongly reiterated his defense of Jackson with Larry King by going after the accuser's mother.
She's had plenty of experience at going after people, and she goes after them viciously and violently, and I saw a story and I read another story about some of the things she's done, and I don't believe it.
But you know what it's like when an indictment comes down.
I got a question. Was Michael Jackson black or white? I mean, I do not believe that we are black. But like I always said, let's just say black so people can comprehend. But not to say to yourself that we are not black. Okay, we are not. We are not. We are not. I refuse. You can accept it if you want to. I refuse. Now, let's get back to the question. Was Michael Jackson brown or white? Which one was it? Because I'm very confused. I'm very, very confused.
It's tough.
It's presumption.
It's tough. It's tough to win, but I have a feeling he's going to win, Larry. The interesting thing is I've known Michael from many different standpoints, and Michael would spend a lot of time with my kids. I have beautiful kids, and at the time, like at Mar-a-Lago, and even in Trump Tower, the kids were very young. Michael would come, play with the kids. He just loved children. He was not a child molester, and I am certain of that. He loved children. He'd play with my son Eric and my son Donald, and he'd just play with them forever.
The truth always comes out. The truth always comes out. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It's going to come. And whatever is done in the dark always comes out to light. You get what I'm saying? So pretty much Michael Jackson was becoming very, very powerful. He was becoming very, very powerful. But the people that he was going against were just way too powerful for him. He couldn't, bro. You cannot. You're talking about the people that run the world. You cannot. They can block you from every angle. Every angle. You're talking about the devil himself, bro. All these people that were going against Michael Jackson they were demons, bro. They were demons. He said it himself. He said, what is that? Tommy Mottola? What is that man's name? Tommy Mottola. He said that man was the devil. He said that man was the devil himself. Why do you think he said that? He didn't just come out and just say that, because he knows him. He knows him well, and things happen.
He loved children, but he was not a child molester. And, you know, that whole final saga of Neverland and the police and what they did was, I think, a very, very bad part of Michael's life.
Just incredible. When you really look back on that, it just makes you love Trump even more, because he was always standing up to the media complex. And that's really what it was that came down on Michael Jackson. Like I said, the record execs had power and he was fighting them and he was winning against them. He was going to eventually control the Beatles catalog. Next thing you know, he ends up dead. He first gets accused of being a pedophile, and his entire legacy is destroyed with accusations that did not win in court. He, like I said, was acquitted. Go back, watch that episode that we did on him and inform yourself on that. But it's incredible to see that. And people are now replaying these clips and are feeling some type of way about Kamala Harris. And I think the majority of people just want to know, who is this woman and who does she work for?
I mean, it's going to come out regardless, man. Who you are, you're not going to hide forever. You are not going to hide forever. Who you are always going to come out. It doesn't matter how long you trying to hide, you trying to hold that person inside you. That person's going to come out. And then with a question where she's saying who she worked for. What do you think? Who do you think she works for? Yeah, I mean, she works. What do you think she works for? Obviously, she works for the elite. That's it. She works for the high ups. Spiritual wickedness in high places. Spiritual wickedness in high places. I said this many times, man. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers, against principalities, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This verse from the scriptures does not lie. So what fight really is not against flesh. It's more spiritual than it is physical. When I see people going out here protesting, fighting, I'm like, you have no idea what you're up against. You're thinking by being physical is going to make you win the battle. Nah, it's just a way to control you. You're just part of the matrix. You are in the matrix. Your battle really is not against the people. It's against what is behind the people. But you cannot see what is behind the people. Therefore, you cannot fight that. You already lost the battle. The only person that can help you win that is your Heavenly Father, Yahuwah. That's the only person that can help you win that fight. But you cannot fight what you cannot see. So really, all we can do is pray. Prayer is a weapon. But the enemy is not going to tell you that. The enemy is going to tell you to go out in the street and start fighting, start burning places, start looting things. Bro, what is going on, dude? People do not understand. They do not understand. But once you understand, once your eyes are open, you will see everything how it is supposed to be seen. And that's it. And that's going to set you free. Because you're going to have to understand it first. That's going to set you free, man. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Say that to yourself every day. You see, sometimes things happen. You're wondering, how did he even do that? Why did he do that? That's so evil. That's not because he did that himself. What is behind him did that. You know, people do things sometimes like, I don't know what happened. I cannot explain how I did that. But it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. People do things. In 1 second, you would do things that would affect you forever. And then you will be like, I cannot understand how I come to do that. Yes, you cannot comprehend. You cannot understand. But you can understand if you really want to understand. Spiritual wickedness.
Well, we left off on quite a note last weekend, or at the end of last week, rather. We have received a lot of information. You guys have been emailing us incessantly. I know I'm not responding to the emails. I am reading them and going through them. I'm creating this really long timeline. I'm also trying to be careful not to overwhelm you guys with too much information because there's so many moving pieces and they all have so many names.
Bring them up.
And I've just been carefully organizing things because we have time. We have a little bit of a runway ahead of the election, and I want to make sure that I get it right.
Yes.
So we left off interested in Vioris Cambridge Harris McPherson.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
This is a woman that we believe is Kamala's grandmother, or her mother, really. She looks so much like her. But anyways, her true grandmother, not Beryl, a woman who I believe looks a little too much like Kamala.
Hey, where is that software that can get people from old to young? What is that? Is it a thing still? When they can take this picture and turn her into a younger version of her. Is it legit? Is it something legit? Because, bro, we need that. We need that. We need that to turn this lady into whoever she is when she's in her 20s, in her 30s. We really want to see that. I want to see it. I will pay money to see that. What is that software? Somebody comment below if they still do those things. I'm sure they still do it.
And has been rather conspicuously just left out of the family Jamaican heritage story. So I'm just going to show you the side-by-side of Kamala and Vioris. And we then learned, because someone pointed it out to us, that actually Vioris's birth name is Iris. I can't believe I missed this. I produced the birth certificate and obviously did not read it for details. But yes, if you look at her birth certificate again, it actually says in that second column that her birth name is Iris. Now that explains why whoever created her profile on Ancestry.com put Iris in parentheses.
Yep.
On that far side, it says Vioris Anita, and that's her baptismal name. As I've been going through all of these documents, I realized baptismal names are very important, or were at this time, because they then used them and pretended that it was their legal names on other documents. But yeah, so when we see that, and we go, okay, so we now have a grandma Iris. That's very interesting. We know that this woman was born in 1927 in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica, and her last name was Cambridge. And I'm wondering, and I'm sure you're wondering, could she be the Miss Iris that Donald refers to so affectionately throughout this piece? He claims in that piece, by the way, that Miss Iris's ancestry is unknown to him, right? He also claims that that Iris that he mentions is his grandmother. So it would be Kamala's great-grandmother and not her grandmother, which I suspect she is. And I'm going to show you the extremely black woman that we are shown a picture of. A picture that he claims he captured of Kamala sitting on Miss Iris's lap. Now,
okay, I said this before, I'm gonna say it again. When I look at this picture, this lady does not look like she's in the same spot as this baby. I see something is missing. Something weird is happening here. I feel like this baby was photoshopped to be in this picture. That's just how I feel, man. I feel like this baby was photoshopped because there's no way this lady is here like that, and then she got a baby on her laps, and somebody's taking a picture. She does not even look. Not even, I don't know what kind of, she does not even look. She is looking somewhere else as if the baby wasn't even there. That's how I feel. What do you guys think about this?
I have received, by the way, a note from a woman who is in her 70s who swears that she knew this family and that woman there worked for the family. As we work to get in touch with her, she's a bit older. Trust me, I am on it. I've reached out. I'm going to actually place a phone call later on today to try to see if she'll pick up her phone, if she's easier to connect with that way, to get to the bottom of whether or not she really does know this family. She claims that she worked for the family for so long, didn't want to leave, and that is, in fact, a picture of the help, which would be wild. Absolutely wild if we can get somebody to confirm that. What we do now know for a fact is that Iris Cambridge, so going back to, I'm going to have to start calling them like White Iris and Black Iris, like just because I think it's easier for you guys to know who I'm speaking about. So White Iris, who died in Broward County, we know for a fact now that she is related to Kamala Harris. And I'm going to tell you how we determine that fact. It is now undeniable.
Detective.
Because when Kamala Harris was effectively handed the torch from Biden after they staged an effective coup back in August, CNN couldn't help themselves and immediately ran an article, instantly reminding the world that Kamala's black. She's Jamaican. Instantly, let's blackify her immediately. Here is the article that they ran. And it essentially had a title like about her Jamaican roots or whatever. And embedded in the article, it was a man named Sherman Harris. And he was speaking about his second cousin, Kamala. I'm just going to read this to you. It says 3.5 years ago, Sherman Harris gathered together a clutch of family and friends at his home on a hilltop here in rural Jamaica to watch his cousin step into history. As Kamala took the oath of office as vice president of the United States, the room erupted in screams and tears, he recalled. Quote, even talking to you now, I feel some sort of tears from my eyes too. You know, Sherman Harris, 59, said in an interview with CNN, it's like tears of joy. So later throughout that article, he claimed that Oscar Harris, that would be Kamala's grandfather, Donald Harris's father, and his father, Newton Harris, were brothers. So that would make Kamala his second cousin. Okay. Now, if my theory is correct, that would mean that he knew White Iris very well, because we know that White Iris and Oscar Harris were married until death did him part, until he died. Well, guess what we found? That same cousin Sherman Harris, who was featured in that CNN piece just from August. We're crawling through Facebook. We found his Facebook page, and he posted a sweet tribute to his aunt Iris, White Iris. It was a Facebook posting of White Iris's obituary, and beneath that obituary posting, he wrote this tribute to her. There it is. You can see the third one down says, Sherman Harris, rip, auntie, you're never forgotten. Lasting memories of shared episodes. That is the exact same Sherman Harris pictured in the CNN article. And again, this was posted under the obituary of the Iris Harris that died in Broward County. So this confirms that Iris, the White Iris, is indeed related to Kamala and Donald Harris. If Sherman is telling the truth, this would make Iris her grandmother officially. Kamala Harris must answer for this. She absolutely must answer this. You cannot be posting up pictures of you with the black woman saying that it's your grandma, okay? You cannot do that. And then come to find out there was another woman who you look much more like, and we have all of the evidence in the world that she is your true grandmother. That is just, it is too wild. It is just too out of pocket. We are going to need answers to that.
Uh-oh. Kamala is done, man. She is done. I said this, bro. I said now is the time for Kamala to come out. There's just too much going on. Too much confusion going on. You cannot lie, bro. This kind of things it's like a whole life. It's like you want to lie. I don't know if she's lying. I don't want to say she's lying when she's not. But I'm just going to say this. If what you are putting out there is not the truth, it's like a whole life. Like your whole life is based on a lie. If that is the case here, it is going to be very bad. Very bad. I'm not sure if it's going to be bad now or worse later when if you become president, or it's going to be worse now. I'm not sure which one it is. But somebody better come out and start speaking fast. Fast. Because she's investigating. Like I said, the whole world is working with her on this. The whole world is working with her on this. So it's not just her at this point anymore. And then as she's making these videos and everybody just reacting to it, everybody just talking about it, it's big. It's getting bigger and bigger. Bigger and bigger. Her podcast is just going to go crazy now. She has one, right? Yeah, whatever that she's doing, it's just getting bigger, man. You cannot. Somebody better come out fast and say something about this.
Because if what Sherman Harris, who was interviewed by CNN, is saying is true, then there is no room here. There's no situation in which Black Beryl, this woman, is her legitimate grandmother, okay? And by the way, I want to say, because looking at this Beryl, she in no way favors Donald Harris. Let's get a side-by-side of Beryl and Donald Harris. Like, what are we even speaking about? If you put this together, how are you getting Beryl from this woman and Oscar Harris? I don't see it. Now, again, genes can be funny, but then when you put him next to our white Iris, I go, okay, look at those squinty eyes here. I could see a little bit of a similarity here. He does seem to somewhat favor her. Again, now we're just believing our own eyes and asking the right questions. What we do know for a fact is that woman on the right, Iris Harris, is related to Kamala Harris, and we need answers. Okay, we need answers. Now, also last week, we let you on a tidbit. We were searching for a Christopher Harris. Do you guys remember that? I'm going to briefly jog your memory here. Christopher Harris was at the time, anonymous person who signed off on Oscar Harris's death certificate. And we were just imagining, okay, we're looking for information on Donald. We know Oscar Harris was married to Iris, Vioris, whatever you want to call her. And I would just imagine that Donald would have been there by his father's side when he died, because when your father dies, you tend to be by their side. Well, I'm going to pull up that death certificate again. This is, again, Oscar Harris's death certificate. And you can see on the bottom there, number 16, if you go right there to the bottom, it says qualification, meaning the person filling this out. The qualification is that he is the son of Oscar Harris. And then it says something about the body being buried, and he signs it off. And we were going, okay, who is this Christopher Harris? Look, this would mean that Donald Harris has a brother. This means that this guy would definitively be Kamala's uncle. Where is he in the world? While we were able to locate Chris, he was also featured in the Kingston Gleaner. That has given us a lot of information, the newspaper, in an article that was dated back to June 24th, 1983, announcing the Council of Jamaicans in Ontario, Canada. I'm going to show you a picture, okay? These pictures of these people. That one in the middle is Chris Harris. Presumably, that would be Oscar Harris's son that he had with Iris Vioris Harris, okay? It says in the bottom there, the newly formed Council of Jamaicans, and it tells you, again, from left to right, that you're looking at a man named Bromley Armstrong, and next to him is Bev Hayden, and that person who looks rather fair-skinned in the middle is Chris Harris. I find it rather off-putting that Donald Harris does not mention many of his siblings in his piece about his Jamaican heritage. It seems like he's continually leaving out the white people. That just makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I'd almost say it's racist. Just abandon an entire side of your family. Like, don't you find that quite weird that piece so much focuses on introducing and discussing everyone who's Black, but you leave out your own siblings? We've thus far, by the way, been able to locate 2 other confirmed siblings. So these would be the siblings of Donald Harris, the children of Oscar Harris and Iris, our white Iris Harris, who died in Broward County. He doesn't mention them. Did Kamala have a relationship with them growing up? I don't know. And I want to be clear, we still cannot find much information about Donald Harris himself. We did find some old newspaper clippings of a Donald Harris, which we are working to confirm it's him, that was involved in a lot of plays, in theater, and in drama in Jamaica. And I'm going, okay, well, the piece that I read about him, he was constantly speaking about the farm and the lessons on the farm. It would be wild if he turned out to be another theater kid, because you know that I have had my fill of theater kids and them being put into positions of power, a la President Zelensky, Justin Trudeau, Emmanuel Macron. So I'm really hoping that this is not the right Donald Harris, but again, we're working to confirm it.
Okay. Look, she's getting there, bro. She's getting there. She's gonna get it. She's gonna get it. Whether Kamala comes out and speak about this or not, I believe that Candace is gonna get there. She's gonna get it. She got too many people working with her on this. She's come too close. Okay, all I would say, she's come too far in the investigations. She's like really deep into it, and then she's close, man. She's close to the answers. She's very close to the answers. This is gonna go either it's gonna go two ways. Either Kamala comes out and talk about this, or Candace is gonna get there and she's gonna put her hands on the evidence to just close this whole topic. You know what I'm saying? And make sure to go to Candace and check this out, man. I'm gonna stop right here. She got this video is like 40 minutes. I'm like 14 minutes in. You guys can go and check it out on her channel. I'm gonna put a link in the description. Man, comment below what you think about this. Kamala better come out fast and speak, or somebody send somebody, or put the evidence where Candace can find it, so you do not have to say anything. Just put the evidence where she can find it. You get what I'm saying? Send your family member to come out and speak. I'm gonna catch you guys next time, man. Make sure to get yourself the scriptures or the cipher and read, man. Make sure to put what Heavenly Father first, Yahuwah. Pray as much as possible. Yahushua is the Messiah. You get what I'm saying? Comment below again, like this video, share, and then send this video to Kamala so she can see it, man. Make sure to send it. Anybody out there you got Kamala's contact, just send it to her so she can.
What's wrong, Michael? I don't know if I should tell you this, but I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people. Don't want to get rid of me. They don't want me here anymore.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Talk to me.
I can't talk about it over the phone. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel in my soul, only God knows, they could shoot me. They could stab me. They could frame me and say I overdosed on drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do these?
It's not the government. It's more than the government. But I don't know today. I don't care. They can kill me. I don't even care my life anymore. I just want my children